I'm Kråkan, also known as Chorus Conic, so welcome to Yacc, yet another Crowcast where I pick a game, I play it for a week, and then I'll talk about it. This week's game is Paperboy for the NES. It was made in 1988, and it's an arcade port, developed by Mindscape and published by Midway Games. And also a little bit spoilers up here, just so you know, but first a little backstory. So I watch a lot of guys and girls on Twitch, and one of them is Budcave, and just like Paul, he does retro achievements, and he was playing this game called Paperboy, and it's a frustrating set, and it's super hard, but I figured I never played it, so I might as well just try it, and that's what I did this week. So as you boot up the game, you're prompted to select between one or two players, and I just think you alternate the controls between the two of you. So the whole point of this game is to deliver newspapers throughout the week, and you start on Monday. So this is a kind of mechanic that is kind of weird, but I'll try to explain. You're supposed to, you see at the beginning of the route, you see which houses you are that are subscribers and those who are ain't. Those who are subscribers have a light color to them, and those who aren't subscribers, they're red. So this is kind of weird, as I said, but you need to break the windows of the red houses to make them subscribers. And those who already are subscribed, you need to hit like the doormat or the like the post box, and it's kind of satisfying because it plays the sound effect. So you start with 3 lives, 4 if you count the 0 one, and you have 10 newspapers at your disposal. You can pick up stacks of newspapers to replenish the ones you have. So everything is out to get you in this game. Everything from kids, tires, skateboards, cars, and crates, and drilling men, and a man struggling to keep his pants on. He's called Seymour, and it's a pun on Bud's channel. Death himself, bikers, dogs, lawnmowers, or like radio control cars, angry ladies, and tornadoes even. So if you crash into any of these obstacles, it will make a terrible sound. Like if you ever played, there's like a horror game that is like this primitive graphic. It's called Fate Chapter 3, and when you die in that game, it makes this terrible screeching like sound effect, and that's exactly the effect when you crash into something or something kind of. But you can throw newspapers at them to stun them. I think you can do this to all the enemies. So this game is played in an isometric kind of view, and it's not like you are going straight up. You go in kind of like a 35 to a 45 degree angle, and you ride on the sidewalk or down by the road, but you need to avoid like cars and stuff and all these things that are out to get you. And there's one thing I don't like about this, because everything is out to get you. So if you go down on the road, there is not always a chance to get back because the curve is kind of high, so you have to find these crossings where you can get out, kind of get on and off. And it's not always clear how the Paperboy's kind of hitbox is. So I swear, like a couple of times, I just hit things and I was like, no, I was not even close to that fence or that drilling man or whatever it was in my way. But the hitbox does whatever he wants to. So throwing a newspaper in this game is not even the easiest thing. It's because of the isometric view and the whole kind of throwing mechanic. I think even the position of the bike is relative to where the paper will land. But you press A or B and you throw a paper to the left, and you try to hit like mailboxes and like doors and whatnot. So it took me a long time, and this is one of those games that are hard to master. You have to go through it a couple of times, but I've seen that Monday screen so many times this week, so it's forever ingrained in my brain. But if you manage to go through the neighborhood, you will end up in an obstacle course where you need to knock down rings and jump over like gaps and stuff. And at the end of the like this dirt track, I guess there's like an audience of 3 people that are cheering you on. And at the end of like stage, you get like how many subscribers you gained and how many you lost. So if you manage to go through the whole week and get a good score, you get the good ending, which is the Paperboy retires with all his glory and his face is on the newspaper for some reason. But if you fail, and that's the most likely scenario, you get like he quits it, calls it quits. And it's fairly easy to go through the extra lives, and I don't think the hitbox is that consistent. At least I couldn't figure it out, so I ran into everything, and you only have 3 plus the 0 life counter, and yeah. I mean, it's a hard game. It's NES hard. So gameplay. Deliver newspapers throughout the week and try to get as many subscribers as possible. Control. The A and B button throws the newspaper. The D-pad up speeds up and D-pad down slows down, and left and right goes in that direction. And start pauses the game. Graphics. Nothing too impressive to write home about, but as with any NES game, you know exactly what you're looking at. Cars, bikes, other pedestrians, tornadoes, you know what they are when you look at them. Sound and music. Hal Cannon and Earl Vickers made the music and sound for this game. And as far as I know, it's like the only 2 tracks in the game. It only has 2 tracks. And the most common track is actually the one that Pat the NES Punk used for his old YouTube intros. And it's a little funny fact. Easter eggs, secrets, and glitches. I have nothing to report. I couldn't find any at least. So in conclusion, I wrote, yes, try it, but it's hard. It's fun to play in small bursts. It's a little bit frustrating, but it's not that big of a deal. It's just like any arcade game. You play it in a little burst and you'll be fine. So my confession is that I only made it to Thursday this week. I couldn't, for the life of me, manage the whole week because this game is hard. And as I said before, like on the previous Indiana Jones episode, Young Indiana Jones, I don't like to abuse save states because this is not how a game is supposed to be played with save states. But so I did my best and I couldn't make it very far. The hitbox is they feel kind of weird. I couldn't manage it, as I said before, and throwing a newspaper into a mailbox for a high score is literally impossible. I'd done it once, but it was like a satisfying thing. I watched a lot of Let's Plays on YouTube, and I can't figure this out. There's like a perfect run on there, a couple of perfect runs, and these guys are like amazing. I don't know how they do it. And also the fact that you need to avoid everything and everything is out to get you is kind of ludicrous in my opinion. This boy is just supposed to deliver newspapers, but dogs and, all these crazy things are going at him, even cars and skateboarding and angry ladies. There's this one thing, if you turn like an angry lady into a subscriber, she will still chase you. And I don't know what that was about. So, yes, try this game, but it's super hard. And, yeah. So anyway, thanks for listening and or watching, and take care.